Alright guys, so it's been a while since we've done a movie review on this channel, so I figured why not bring another one up right now. So I did a movie review about a couple months back on the movie called Summer Night. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link in the description so you guys go check that out after this one if you guys want to. And I love car movies too, like the Fast and Furious franchise, Need for Speed, all good movies. But there's a lot of shitty car racing movies and stuff. And the movie we're going to be looking at today is a movie called 200 miles per hour. I remember seeing this movie once before on Netflix, like a long time ago, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, and at first I didn't really think anything of it as much, because I was just like, oh, you know, it's just a movie and there's some cringy stuff to it and whatnot. But I recently came across it again, and holy shit, it's fucking insane. I was literally thinking about it so much, I'm like, I need to make a video on this. Like, that's what I saw when I saw Summer Night. I'm like, this is such a bad movie, like, I need to tell people about how bad this movie is. So without further ado, let's get into the review.
Alright, so starting off, this movie is full of bad writing, terrible CGI, and a lot of reused shots. I think I counted 20 times in this movie I saw the same driving scenes over and over again, like it does in this intro sequence here, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. So first we meet off Rick, and he's just some dude with a white 240 with orange wheels on his car. Not too bad, or red wheels, I don't even, they kind of look orange-red. Then his brother rolls up a Nissan 370Z and is just like, oh, hey, look at this new car I got.
One of the perks was a sweet deal on this. It's like an $80,000 car.
No, a Nissan 370 is not worth 80 grand.
0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, quarter mile in 11.5 seconds, and 193 miles per hour top speed right off the box.
No one asks this shit anymore. No one gives a shit about 0 to 60 time. You think, whenever I go to a car meet, no one asks me, or no one asks anyone else, hey, what's your 0 to 60 time in your car? You know, what's the top speed? No one says this shit, damn. And yeah, and also, their mom's a stripper, which is really weird. We're not going to get into it too much. And yeah, that was also just a super random cut. She's like, you guys better not be street racing tonight, and then just goes to street racing, and nothing even happens in that scene that is, and then they just cut back to them in the driveway. Like, why did you need to cut that? The editing in this movie is so bad. That's why I literally almost couldn't watch this in one sitting. I literally almost stopped watching this movie multiple times because I couldn't take it anymore.
I could come to the club and put in your G-string.
As much as I love you, not unless you want to spend the rest of your life in therapy, you don't.
That's a really super fucking weird thing to say to your mom, but oh well, this is a real movie. And then there's also this random corrupt cop guy, and he's kind of an idiot in this movie. Pretty much he just bets on illegal street races and he makes money off of it, and he doesn't really do a good job of being a cop. Like, he doesn't arrest anyone at all, like, or no one like finds out what he's doing. He's just some guy who just bets on illegal street races, and that's it, and he makes money off of it. So then it cuts to Rick racing this Mazda RX-7 or Mazda RX-8. Also, that's not first gear. He just shifted right into second. That's not how you start off your car. But I guess that's why I said the editing's really bad. And also the driving scenes in this, the racing scenes in this are super generic and pretty standard. Like, it just shows cars driving in a static shot behind and then in front. And it's like really confusing to watch because like one thing happens after another and then nothing makes sense after that. And this is where we meet the main villain of the movie, Casey. He rolls up in this Nissan GTR.
Merchant, I know you don't think that jalopy is fucking with my shit. What? Man, this shit right here is an $80,000 Skyline GTR. You know what that means?
No, that is not a fucking Skyline. That is a Nissan GTR R35. Get your facts right, or you shouldn't be driving this car at all in the first place.
Dual clutch, all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 3.2, topping out at 195. And that's before I put shit in the motherfucker.
Wow, you can read the brochure. So then Casey and Tommy are racing, and like I said before, these races are edited so badly that literally you have no idea what's going on. And also in this race, it does this really weird like zoom in to the face and everything. Like, it'll show the character driving in their car, and then it'll just zoom in on their face like really abruptly. It's almost like what people do in their YouTube videos when they zoom in on people's faces to show like a funny effect or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then pretty much It's them drifting around the same corner. I honestly swear they just drive around the block like 4 times throughout this race. But then it'll show Tommy's in front. Then it'll show Casey's in front. And it's just, it doesn't even show them passing each other. It'll just, the next scene will be like, oh, Casey's in front. Oh, then Tommy's in front the next second. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. This editing in this movie is really fucking bad. And then Tommy somehow loses control and spins out and crashes. And we get the first bit of horrible CGI in this, like, that looks fucking horrible. And then Casey just grins and then just fucking dries off like he's proud of this shit. His brother and all his friends run over like they were just down the street from it. They were pretty fucking far from the meet. How did they get over here in like 2 seconds? And then there's people leaving the meet like right that second. And then basically Casey comes to Tommy's house the next day and it's just like, yo, I'm sorry I didn't kill your brother. But like I did. I don't mean no disrespect. Watch me pull out my fucking gun and almost shoot you in your own house.
Do you really want to take it there? Do you really want to take it there? Get out!
And then basically he's like, well, now since your brother's dead, basically your car's mine now.
I'm here for my car.
Your car's in the impound.
No. Your car.
It doesn't work like that.
This bitch.
And then he's like, oh, well, I'll race you for mine. He's like, you don't got a car. He's like,
You ain't got a car. Let alone the balls.
If you win, you get my car.
dude, he literally is driving a 240. He just said you can get his car, but you're like, oh, you don't have a car. Makes no sense. Then he's like, all right, well, if I win, I get your car, and we race for pink slips, and then you go off the streets forever. And then basically he's got like a month to build a car to get as fast as the GTR is. And then Rick's friends are just in his shop, just like shit-talking Casey.
Man, that Casey. What an asshole.
I know, what a douchebag. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, fuck that guy, right? He's such a dick, you know? And then Rick comes in, he's like, alright, we're gonna take my 240 and make it as fast as a GTR, make it the fastest car in LA, and then we get this, like, kind of a little montage of them, like, building the car and, like, tuning it to make it as fast. And even though the movie is called 200 miles an hour, no one ever hits that in this movie. They keep talking about, like, oh, the streets aren't big enough, the streets aren't long enough for you to go 200 miles. Alright, so then they get a list of all the parts they need for the 240 and everything, and then Rick's like tells his mechanic chick, he's like, alright, get all these parts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, look what I'm thinking. Forged one-piece wheel on low-profile tire.
That's gonna work.
Yeah.
And the spoiler.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
Thinking an aero kit, too.
Buy these parts.
All right.
I'm going to go see Claudia.
And in the next shot, he's driving the car like already built up. And it's not even a 240, it switches to a fucking Nissan Silvia. Alright, and then there's a little montage of them building the car up, even though in the last scene we just saw him driving the car already built up. So it's like, the scenes aren't even in order. That's how messed up this movie. I can sit here and nitpick all day about how shitty the graphics are and the scenes and stuff like that are. But it's really hard to not talk about them when they're literally happening like every 2 seconds in this movie. Like, I don't think you can go 5 minutes. I don't think you can go I don't think you can go 1 minute in this movie without hearing shitty dialogue, bad CGI. Alright, and I know I've been shit talking this movie a lot, but Rick leaving the garage here and doing this little drift, that's probably like the nicest scene I've seen in this movie so far. That's my one thing I like about this movie so far. And that's probably like one of the few things I do actually like about this movie. Alright, so then they're out driving the car and everything, and then they somehow just end up in a little cop chase.
Shit! Go faster!
Son of a bitch.
Is so edited so badly. There's a fucking helicopter that drives under a bridge, and it looks disgusting.
What the fuck is this movie, dude?
And the editing is so bad. I think they've used that same drifting shot like 7 times throughout this movie so far. And then they've escaped the cop, and then they pull off to the side. They're like, alright, I think we're good. We're in the clear. You're sitting out in the fucking open in like a bright green car. How can nobody not see you?
We should wait here a while. Just so quiet's off.
Then the cop shows up basically just to tell him to get off the streets and stop racing and stop fucking around or I'll make life worse for you.
No, that's a message from me, the man who has your balls in his hand.
So then after they're like, all right, well, the 240 is still not fast enough. We need one other thing to do to make this car faster. And they're like, oh, well, we've already put every single mod into this car that's possible for it.
We've done every mod made for it, and you're out of money.
Well, I was thinking about this.
Don't say it.
We could use nitrous.
You ever hear of motor swap? I don't know. I mean, this movie did come out in 2011, so I don't know if this was before motor swaps were a thing, I'm guessing, or they became a trend, but I'm surprised they didn't even think of doing that. But I guess they're like, oh, well, we're all out of money, we can't put anything more to this. And then pretty much he goes to this Mexican dude's house and is like, hey, I heard you have this NOS kit for a car that I really need right now. Can I buy it off you? And he's like, no, that shit will fucking blow your shit up if you don't have the right supporting mods. And pretty much basically he says that
did all the work. Got her up to 140. I hit the valve. We took off like a rocket. I saw the speedo hit 180, but I really wasn't sure because the car was shaking so bad. The front end began to lift up like we were about to take off. I shit you not.
I don't even fucking know. Don't ask me. Alright, so then they're back at the shop, and then this random dude just pulls up with like a little fucking digital camera and starts taking pictures of his build to spy on Rick and the gang and seeing what they're all up to. Then the corrupt cop is just standing there watching the guy do it, but he doesn't do anything. So I don't know if he's spying on the guy, spying on Rick? I don't know. And then he goes up to show Casey at the strip club, and he's like, damn, that shit a go-kart.
Fuck out of here with that shit, man.
The fuck is this? That shit is practically a go-kart.
He could put NOS, he could add in freaking booster rockets for all the good of.
Alright, so then they get the NOS kit on the car, and then he uses the boost into a fucking turn. You don't use the NOS going into a turn, use it on the straightaway. Then his fucking motor dies, and he's just off on the side of the road pushing it back to the shop. Then the corrupt cop shows up yet again and basically says, you need to lose this race because I'm betting a lot of money on you to lose. And if you don't lose, then you're gonna fuck with my business or my illegal doings or whatever. So you need to stop what you're doing.
What?
Did I fucking stutter?
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Throw the goddamn race. You're gonna lose,
Bitch.
And then we get this chase scene where Casey comes out of nowhere and basically is just like, oh, I'm chasing you now because I'm going after your girlfriend, Rick. And then he's like, why is he chasing us? It's the middle of the day.
Asshole, he's crazy. It's the middle of the day.
Was the chase only supposed to happen at night or something? I don't get what he was trying to prove there with his point. And again, why are you using the NOS out of a fucking turn there? Oh, and we get some more. And that's not even a GTR. It's the fucking cop car chasing him there. So then pretty much he basically keeps ramming him from behind, but then Rick does nothing to get out of the way, and his girlfriend is like, tell him to stop, and he doesn't do anything. He's just sitting there like taking it.
Stop!
And then he basically inches him up into the fucking intersection, and she just stares at this truck, doesn't say anything, and they get fucking bulldozed over. And they survive. And then there's this really weird edit where, I don't know what this is called, like the double face thing where he's like kind of concussed and it's like showing two images at once. I don't know what that effect is, but it just looks really weird. And since they're like, oh, well shit, now the fucking 240 is totaled, so we need to get something else that's going to be fast enough to get Casey's car to catch up to Casey. So they take his dead brother's 370 out of the impound lot and fix it up. And then this guy chases him out. He chases him out of the store, but he's not even right behind him. He doesn't come running out of the store until after he leaves. Like, what the fuck? Did you want them to escape?
Oh my god, why is there so much CGI nightmare in this movie?
So then corrupt cop over here gives this dude some money, is basically like, hey, I'm betting on the kid to lose. I don't fuck up with my bettings or whatever.
Dumbass.
Alright, so then they're working on the 370, and Rick has like this really weird like dream sequence of him remembering the night of his brother's crash, and it's weirdly edited. It honestly almost looks like one of those drunk driving commercial ads that you see where like, oh, don't drink and drive or you'll die. It almost feels like it's one of those type of edits. It's really weird. So then the cops are at like a wrong location and they're like, oh, well, they're gonna show up here. But the thing is, why is he busting him? Like, I don't know what this idiot's cop plan is. If he's trying to bust him before the race starts, because if he wants him to lose, you need the race to happen if you want your bet to go through. So if you're gonna bust him before the race even starts, then you're screwing up your own plan. This guy's such an idiot. Rick's about to take on Casey right here, and this dude's explaining them the race locations, but he's talking so fast that it's how do they even understand what the fuck this guy is even saying?
Now, assuming you survive the maze, you'll exit onto Vista Del Mar down by the river. Now, we don't have any spotters down there, so watch for traffic. Then it's a flat-out sprint up the Vista, left onto Imperial, left again back onto Pershing, finishing right here. I'm gonna dispose of you just like I did your punk-ass brother.
Wait, what the fuck? You just said before that you had nothing to do with his brother's death. Now you're admitting you killed him? Make up your fucking mind, dude. Alright, so we got the final race going on. And then the cop, he just goes over on the radio, he's like, I need all units on me right now. And it's just him, like no backup even comes. Even when he didn't call for backup the last time, a fucking helicopter was chasing him and helping him then. And then we get more random shots where it's just like not, it doesn't even like, and then the cop just randomly catches up to them and just like out of like freaking nowhere. And it's the same reuse shots over and over again. Oh my god. Why is there so much bad CGI in this fucking movie, dude? Alright, so it looks like the stakes are kind of high. But honestly, and this is really weirdly shot, so Rick's driving through and then Casey just randomly slides into a curb at like 15 kilometers an hour. Oh, and look, his GTR turns back to stock wheels now. And also forgot to mention that the 370 looks exactly the same as how his brother had it before he crashed it. And like, dude, this guy's bleeding all over. Like, what the fuck happened that made him slide out and is like, oh shit, and there's no damage done to the GTR at all. So then the cop shows up and he's like, you fucked up, you made me lose my bet.
You made me lose my bet. Bet?
Dude, he didn't even finish the race. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I guess technically he won since he finished further than Casey, but they never made it to the finish line at all. And I don't know what you were planning to do with your other cops if you were trying to stop him and stuff like that. So, I don't know. This guy's going, like, it makes no sense.
Think about this. You can't shoot him. They'll know it was a gun.
Well, yeah, of course it'd be a gun. You fucking shoot him. What the fuck else would it be? He's not gonna die. If he gets shot, he's not gonna die because he got stabbed. What the fuck are you even talking about, Rick? So then he's about to shoot Rick, and then everyone just rolls up with, like, Snapchat open, is like, oh, hey, if you shoot him, we're gonna put your ass on the internet and show everyone how much of a corrupt cop you are. They should have even just went to the cops in this movie, like, oh, yeah, this guy's doing some illegal street race shit, you should, like, look into that. And then Casey's just fucking chilling on the sidewalk, like, did he fucking die?
I also heard that idiot Casey was racing with product in his ride. By the time he gets out, he'll be old enough to drive a golf cart.
Oh, okay, wait, no, I guess he didn't die. He just got arrested. Okay. That's kind of pointless, but whatever.
The pigs work for me.
And the Mexican dudes roll up and is like, you took down Casey. You have my respect. Let me buy your car for you for $100,000 so you can get the tuition money to go to school. And then that's how the movie ends. And then we have to get this really weird line at the end where his girlfriend's like, hey, want to race?
You want to race?
Sure.
And they hop on their bikes to make it seem funny, I guess, but it's not. It's really fucking dumb.
Well, that's the movie 200 miles per hour. I don't even know what to think of that movie, but the thing is, when movies like that are so bad, it makes them hard to enjoy or to find any things you even like about it. Like, yeah, the 240 looked cool and everything with, like, the green and, like, the spoiler on the back and shit. Also, the 370 looked a lot cooler than the GTR did. The GTR looked stock as shit. It looked like it had a different front bumper and then, like, the most basic fucking gold wheels out there. But yeah, I don't know what to rate this movie. Honestly, I'm gonna give this one a solid 2 out of 10. Just because there's so much, and I get, and the budget for this movie was $200,000, and he said that the GTR on that was 80 grand. So like, what fucking, that's like basically half the fucking budget gone in one car. So I'm guessing that's why they didn't have enough film time. So that's why there's a ton of reused shots, a ton of shitty fucking CGI. Let me know what you guys think of this movie, and let me know if there's any other car movies that are shitty that you think I should watch and react to or make a movie review on it. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Damn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud nine, and this nine is never on vacation. Start up that Maserati and zoom, zoom, I'm racing. Popping pills in the lobby, and I pray they don't find her naked. And I pray you niggas is hating. Shooters go after Judas. Jesus Christ, if I live life on my knees, ain't no need to do this.